So we have another day. There we go. Another day. Someone said, do you do this every day? Well, it's a little bit different because I'm doing it at home, alone, because we're in quarantine. But here's the thing. They say, you have such great discipline. I said, no, I had pasta yesterday. I want to eat one meal a day, but I eat two. I wait till 12:30 to eat, and I try to end by 6, but yesterday I had pasta at 6:30. The reason I eat at 12:30, not really 12:30, I drink my celery juice at 12. At 12:30 I eat, and I end before 6, is because that's intermittent fasting. And what I get from that is I feel better. I may even live longer. And so I made this commitment, and then over a period of time it became routine. And routine, and when you do what's good for yourself in a routine fashion, you demand that excellence, or whatever that choice is, more often for yourself. So God says, be good, and you do whatever you think is good, and it feels good. That routine sets in, and then you don't like to live without it. You quit smoking, and at first you feel like you want a cigarette, and then one day your lungs, and you're repulsed by it. One day you're dismissive. Instead of judgment, you have discernment, and you say, you guys, it's not for me. Not for me, or for me. It takes a little work sometimes to choose what's for you, that really works for you. And it takes some resilience and some distance. Over a period of time, you realize that this routine is necessary. I used to go to hot yoga and then go to cryotherapy because the cold weather, the cold, would promote even more circulation. I like the feeling I got after doing it. I like the feeling I get after doing this. I didn't like getting in the cold chamber, but I knew it was worth it. I don't want to do these hard poses necessarily, but I know I'll feel better afterwards. And it becomes your routine. So, like every day, I'm beginning this practice with this breathing exercise, and when it's over, when I come out of shavasana, I'll be relieved and thrilled that I had the courage and the wherewithal to do this practice. I promise you, if you join me, you'll have the same experience. We begin, put our fingers together, clasp our hands under our chin, and we breathe to the count of 6. All the way up and in to the top, and then we push it out. Not a back bend, it's just opening your throat. Today will be a fusion, mixing classic 26 poses with the classic vinyasa that tantras has. Each breath deeper than the one before. Gut up and in. 2 more. All the way up. Last one. All the way. Sip in some more. More. Till you're a little dizzy. Change. Already you should feel a little different. Waking up the brain, the lungs, the chest. The shoulders should hurt a little bit. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do it a little slower. Last one, all the way in. Slowly. Slower the better. Sip some more. More. Okay. Again, feeling a little bit different. Hands up. Lock your arms to the right and to the left. Stretch straight up, as tall as you can be. Stretch straight all the way to your left or to your right. To your right. I know on your camera it comes across as to your left. Maybe I should do it backwards, but all the way to your right. Leaning, both feet flat on the ground, up and over, straight to the side, straightening your arms, smiling, having deep breath. Straighten up. The arms are squeezing your ears as you move to the left. Deep breath. Come on up. Now we're going to go into a back bend. Straighten up, toes together, heels together, head up, rest your neck. Now come on back. Up. Hello. She comes every day to put an offering. No. Namaste. Pakaba. Samala pagi. The Balinese practice a form of Hinduism that's more spiritual than religious. But it has religious practices every day. Even now, they bring offerings. This young woman is the only woman on my only person on my property beside myself and Gary. We clean up after ourselves. Everybody's home on quarantine. See, that's a temple now, if you can see it. There's a temple that we keep here that she goes to and prays every day. Come on up. Go through that again. Do you see the temple? See that the temple? So, I haven't gotten close to her. We're not close to each other. Bye-bye. So, every day she comes. Every day to plant the imprint so that we can receive God into our lives. She goes to that temple, which we have and every property has, and she brings offerings that she makes, hand makes every morning. Second set, come on up. Deep breath. In the vinyasa, we have warrior breathing, ujjayi breathing. The warrior's breath, the back of the throat. You can hear it coming in and coming out. It's the soundtrack for our practice. Our breath. Second set is shorter. So I'm putting together the Deaf Comedy online. I call up people. This morning I made the first call. Everyone else had called me. So I called D.L. Hughley, and he picked the phone up. He said, "Yes, nigga." And J.B. Smooth and all of the Deaf Comedy Jam comedians are helping us to raise money for the essential workers, for the safety of the essential workers in our community. So, we're very fortunate that people are joining us. We've already raised some money. We want to raise a lot. Let's see what happens. Def Comedy Online is what it is. Second set. Back bends make you a little high. Blood races to your head. Promoting circulation in the brain. Straighten your legs if you can. If not, bend your legs. Put your fingers under your feet, point them forward, same way as the toes, and pull. Pull as hard as you can. Going into a chair pose. Up on your tippy toes. Come on down the same way. Tippy toes are up, and that means your stomach is up and in, your chest is forward, your elbows, arms are back, chest forward, doing a little bit of a back bend. Higher on your toes. Come on down a little lower. Come on up. Third one, your knees come together. Get on your toes a little bit, knees together, come down slowly. Come on up, same way you came up, down slowly. By now you should have a little bit of a sweat. Separate your feet 6 to 8 inches. Straighten your arms. Come on down. Up onto your tippy toes, down. Up. Last one, on your tippy toes. Not as high, knees together, come down slowly. If your knees are okay with this idea, bounce. Up, come on up slowly. Deep breath. Now we're going to go into eagle pose. The idea is to squeeze. Even if you do this, squeeze. The full expression of the pose. Put the arm all the way under. The right arm under. Clasp your hands if you can. Bend your knees deep. Wrap your right leg around the left. Your toe pointing forward. Holding onto your ankle. And squeeze everything together. Tightly if you can. Come on down. It's a bit of a back bend, not a forward bend. Straight up, actually. Feels like a little bit of a back bend. Squeeze. Squeeze more. More. Come on up. Other side. Left arm around the right, under the right. Wrap your fingers. If you can. Bend deeply. Left leg up and around. Squeeze everything together. You feel this in your gut, your arms, your shoulders. Very tight. Bandhas up and in, Muladhara, Uddiyana Bandha, Jalandhara Bandhas, all working. All your gut, lock, up and in, squeeze. Come on up. We're going to do the second set. Deep breath. Again, take your time, come down slowly, lift your right leg up, and all the way around, and begin to squeeze everything together, compression, so when we let go, all the blood can rush through your body and cleanse your organs. On up. The question during this quarantine is, can we go in? We can connect to other people. We have our tools, but can we go in to the self? Can we meditate more? Can we spend the time alone and do the things that help us to study the self? This is what Netpi, the religious holiday here, is. We just celebrated 2 days in Netpi where there was no electricity. And each of us was forced to go inside. Bend your knees. Last one, squeeze everything together like life depends on it. Deep breath. Squeezing. Okay, come on up. Okay, now do something a little different. First we'll do head to knee, one set. Bend your knee like this and hold your gut up and in and do this. Or if you want to, do this. Straighten your left leg fully. The pose can begin. You can straighten all the way, if you can. Straightening both knees. smiling. Hold it up with your gut. Come on down. Threw you for a loop, but that's typical vinyasa practice. You're going to do the same on the other side. Bend over, lift your knee. Stay like that. Or lift your foot. And if your right knee is straight, straighten your left knee. Down. Next thing we're going to do, dancing Shiva. Open your arms. Your right hand is open. And when you bend your knee, if you can grab your foot. Lift your left arm straight. Make sure your knees are together and push forward and charge. The harder you kick, the better you balance. Stretching and kicking. Stretching and kicking. Come on up. Other side. Same. Right leg up. Right arm up, rather. Holding on and charge forward. And up. Now we're going to do a triangle. In fact, we're going to do a warrior 1, warrior 2, and triangle. Turn your right foot 90 degrees. Bend your left leg like a table all the way. Arms up, warrior 1. Deep breath. Up and in. Chest open, shoulders back. Bending deeply your front leg. Warrior 2. Open up. Holding warrior 2, opening your chest, lengthening. Straighten your left leg. Traditional triangle. Open your chest, look up to the sky. You can put your hand on your knee, if you like, or your ankle. The Iyengar style, as you put it on the left side on the floor. Come on up. Come to the warrior 1 on the other side now. Warrior 2. leg for a traditional triangle. Turn your chest up to the sky. Come on up. Okay, now we're going to do what they refer to the 26 pose triangle, which is a very important part of that practice. We're going to leave it out. Bend your knee in Warrior 2 again. This time with bent knee, holding your core accountable. Put your elbow on your knee, open your knees or your hips. Fingers pointing down and pointing up, not touching the floor. Come on up. Other side. Warrior 2. You got ready? Charge. Infinitely harder than holding the floor, where it's more engaging for your core, your hips. Straighten both arms. Fingers point between the toe, the front and second toe. Don't forget your ujjayi breathing. Come on up. Let me left out forward bend before we go into head to knee. So we're going to do it now. Straight side. Now forward bend, putting your head to the floor, towards the floor, squeezing and pulling, straightening your legs as much as possible, all the way. Pull back against your heels, hard with your arms. Breathe, gut up and in. Pulling, pulling, pulling. Come on up. Next thing we're going to do is head to knee. Turn your left foot out, right foot to a 90-degree angle. Straighten your arms up. This time you don't interlace your fingers, just your thumbs. And you pull forward and then round. Your head on your knee, called head to knee. It's a compression pose. So if you have to bend your knee to get your head on your knee, that's okay. In fact, you probably do if you're normal. But try to get your head to your knee. And around, so you talk like this. Compression pose. Good for your liver, your intestines, your digestion in general. Gets worked. Other side. Lay down, head to knee. You're ready. Come on up. Another deviation here. Come on down. Opening these hips a little bit. Moving them around. Okay, now we're going to do a simple tree pose. Not so simple. Do it this way. Or we can lift our legs to the full expression of a tree pose. Vinyasa tree, not a 26 pose tree. But there's so much going on here. Everything's going up and in. There's a string pulling you to God, so it's really straight. The subtle body is waking up to what your body's functions are and potential is in this practice. You get to know your body, and by knowing your body, you serve it more carefully. Become aware of the Muladhara Bandhas, how to lock it. Jalandhara, lock. Uddiyana Bandha, Jalandhara, lock. Up. Become aware of your breath through Ujjayi breathing. Recognize that the breath is regulating everything. And if you regulate your breath and it becomes habit, become a healthier, happier person just by controlling your prana. Other side, your prana is your life force, represented as your breath. Only thing you have with you that lasts from birth till death is the breath. Opening your hips here. Up and in. String pulling you to God from your sacrum all the way up through the top of your head. Put a smile on. And when you're finished, let it go. Going to lay down now for our first shavasana. Take a few breaths to let the practice sink in. Next pose is wind removing pose. The way we're going to come up is like the 26 poses Paramahansa Yogananda taught. Two deep breaths out, two pushes, like almost like we're doing Ujjayi or we're doing pranayama practice. Let me put this so you can see better. The floor poses. First floor pose we're going to do. We're going to do cobra. Cobra pose. First we're going to do it like this. Opening up your chest, pulling your elbows back and sucking your gut up and in, chest forward. You can feel it as you squeeze You pull back your chest, pull back your elbows, push forward, lift up your chest, up and in, up and in. Come on down. Next, we're going to do with our hands as close to the waist as possible. If possible, level with your elbows and lift up. Let it be not your hands, but your gut and your back doing all the work. So barely touch the floor. Come on up. Cobra pose. Deep breaths. Again, I mentioned that a Chinese doctor will tell you, any Chinese doctor, that your spine is your youth. That when your spine is flexible, you are young. So, when you're old like me, you're concerned with being young. When you're young, it's fleeting and you don't know it. Until one day, you're like your uncle, who can't do this pose. Today, we're very lucky we can do it, or at least attempt to do it. Come on up. Come on down. Now I'm going to grab our ankles, put our toes together. Pull up if we can. Only thing on the belly's on the ground. Now only the hips. Pull, push, pull. Now the back bend coming up. On your knees. This back bend, just do like this. And if you can, lean back, push your chest up, hips forward. And if you can, hold on to your ankles or to your feet, pushing your chest up, pushing your gut and chest up and forward, rounding your back. Opening your chest, pulling and opening. This, instead of drinking during this period when your immune system has to be strong, the best high you can get, back bend. Okay. Virasana, another back bend, also strengthening the knees and pretty much everything. You put your knees together. I showed you this way. I'm going to do it both ways because we're going to do it. Put your knees together, feet separate, and try to sit our butt on the floor. Not an easy proposition. It took me years, so put a block under you if need be. And if you can sit like this, it's really good for circulation in your legs and specifically your knees. But if you are comfortable like this, you can lean back onto your elbows. And if you're comfortable with that, lean all the way back. Come on up. So, when I was showing you, knees together, if possible. If not, you can separate your knees. Sit between your feet, same way, and lean back. A little bit of a different pose, but it works slightly different parts of your back, but just as effective. promoting a flexible spine, an open heart. Most notably, the people in the Moto tradition. God, that's a big gecko, lizard. They're everywhere, all over the ceiling, always, everywhere, but that's a big one. Anyway, so that ends the backbending series. We now want to move to another set of twisting series, or just, we'll do first our forward bend, and then we'll go into Ardha Matsyendrasana, which is a twisting pose. Okay. Straighten your legs. Pull your butt back, butt cheeks back. Sit up straight. Put on a big smile. It's almost over. Straighten your back with your core all the way up, shoulders back. Bend forward. If you can hold your toes, that's great. If not, bend your knees and hold your toes. And if you can, just pull. Opening your chest, pulling, smiling. Straightening your legs as much as you can. You don't need to. If you can, that's good. But hold your toes. And now, if you want to go forward more and more, up. Now, twisting pose. Put this leg over your left leg. Put your right leg over your left leg and turn. Lift your spine straight and twist. For those who want the full expression of the pose, bend this knee. Foot same place. Lift your left arm. Full expression, you hold your knee and twist up and twist. This is really good for your digestive system and for gut health. A lot of doctors will tell you gut health, and new science especially tells you how valuable gut health is. So whatever you can do to improve your gut, do so. Little things, I was saying that one of my tricks for my gut was I drink a little apple cider vinegar in warm water every morning. And I recommend that to you. It kills out bad bacteria, kind of cleanses everything, calms your gut. There's a bunch of reasons. I can't even tell you all of them. I've read them all, and each one is a check on a box. So it's very important. Apple cider vinegar in warm water in the morning, couple teaspoons, tablespoons, half a glass of warm water. Doesn't taste so good. Other side. And then warm water in general, now during this time especially, but warm water to get everything going. Okay, lifting your right arm up now. Holding on, twisting. Looking at that temple and thinking about the devotion of the women who live in this deeply spiritual, religious community. It's a very interesting form of Hinduism. I think I said that. It's all spirituality. No judgment. It's just their practices, their observances to remind them of God. None of the observances are meant to be to the exclusion of whatever it is that you observe. They don't think their religion is better than yours. They think theirs is chosen for them. Whoever chooses it. I think we say that, but we sometimes don't act on it as Christians, Muslims, or Jews. None of the children of Abraham are immune from the judgment of other religions. They are as individuals, but the collective has in many ways gone mad at many times. And a great percentage of all three of the great children of Abraham religions are still so separate, so polarized. Okay, we're going to do a breathing exercise right now. We're going to just push out. Push out as hard as we can, and inhale will happen automatically. So here's how it looks. Ready? Deep inhale. If you're not a little bit high, you're not doing it well. Just do it a little harder, a little faster. And we ride out the last request for the practice, the last physical request. Ready? Breathe in deep. Push it out twice as fast. Ten, 9. Inhale. Lock up all your bandhas. Up. Pull it up and in. Lock the throat, the Jalandhara bandha. Hold it. Inhale. Exhale. Final shavasana before our meditation. Just lie back onto your back. Flatten everything. Let go of controlling your breath. Let go of everything. Just drift off for a moment. Shavasana or corpse pose. Let your feet and ankles relax. Focus on your legs, your ankles, and your feet. Relax. Let your gut sink into the floor and your chest sink into the floor. Let your chest, your belly, your feet, ankles, and legs relax. Let your hands and arms relax. Face relax. When you're ready, bend your knees into your chest. Coming out of corpse pose, turn over to one side. Thanking God to be born again as you come out of corpse pose. Leaving behind whatever doesn't serve you. Sitting up, born again. Prepare for a slight meditation. Most of you have meditated with me before, and so you know the drill. But it's like everything else. We have to remember to remember. And we forget so often. So sit up comfortable position. Again, breathing regular, no control of the breath. Thanking God that we're born again. So we're going to repeat a mantra that we share collectively. Rum. Rum, rum, rum. To ourselves, we think this mantra to the exclusion of all thoughts. Thoughts will come and go. That's okay. Gently come back over and over to the mantra. Be at ease, expect nothing.